Too many clamps spoil the food. What does the number of clamps have to do with food production cleanliness and health and efficiency of cleaning the pumps that are used in food production? Here to get into this mystery, Sydney from South Africa and Asjin from Holland. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on scottcundill.com.
Thanks, Scott.
Let's begin with you, Sydney. Tell us in plain English, what does the number of clamps have to do with food production?
Well, I'd start off, so obviously easier terms, food safety and hygiene are key. So in your food and beverage manufacturing facilities, so the number of clamps on a pump, on a diaphragm pump, would obviously reduce the amount of bacteria, and obviously the product won't be at liberty to be infected by bacteria or cross-contamination from other products. So the less clamps, the better for repairing and installation and obviously cleaning.
Thanks, Sydney. Now, Verder has come up with some amazing new technology with regards to the number of clamps. Here to tell us a little bit more about the technology is Asjin from the Netherlands. Now, Asjin, tell us about why the number of clamps is so important. What is the difference between one clamp and having 2 clamps or 3 clamps or 80 clamps?
Yes, very good question. So what if you had 80 clamps? This would mean for COP cleaning that you need to dismantle 80 clamps. You need to clean them all. But more difficult is to reassemble this pump. It's quite difficult. That's what we heard from the industry. They gave us as feedback. If we need to reassemble the pump, we need at least 2 and maybe even 3 guys to reassemble the pump. And then it's still difficult to align all the different parts back together. We learned from the industry that they wanted a simpler pump design, and we just gone back to the table to draw a newer type of pump, and we just reduced the total amount of clamps. So we only have 4 clamps anymore.
So how's Verder actually taken the technology and improved it to such an extent that you've got fewer number of clamps?
Yes, so we started the previous version with in total 16 clamps. And the industry told us that they wanted a simpler pump to reassemble. So we just took away all these clamps. We made fewer parts, so you need fewer clamps to model these parts.
Can you show us and take us through that actual process of what you did?
For that, I would like to take you to the screen. So here you see the 2 pumps. So the old one is the previous version. Here in the total amount of clamps are 20. This is together with the inlet and outlet clamp. And the new version only has 8 clamps. Here you can see that we just removed all the clamps between the valve and also the inlet and the outlet. We just removed the clamps and made it one piece.
Well, there's no question that the second pump looks a lot more beautiful and a lot simpler than the first one. Sydney, you work with food manufacturers every day. You have your pumps installed in many of them. How are they reacting to the new technology?
Well, the general feedback that we get is obviously positive due to the less downtime that you would have by stripping these pumps with the many clamps. With the ones that we've got now with the new technology, the less clamps, it's ease of maintenance, it's ease of cleaning, of CRPing, COPing. It's just in all, it saves the customer a lot of downtime. It saves them money, man hours, and obviously it protects their product, which obviously protects it for us as the consumers. So the general consensus between the customers is that they are very, very happy with the newly designed pump that we have provided them.
Thanks, Sydney. Back to you, Asjin. Tell us about the cleaning process in more detail. So you've got CIP, you've got COP. How does the new pump handle more efficient cleaning?
Yes, so this pump can and will be used in both situations. It will be used in COP cleaning and CIP cleaning. With this new design, it's for both more efficient. You can reassemble it much quicker in your own, but also for the CIP cleaning, you will need less time to get it completely cleaned. So for the CIP cleaning, you need less time, and for the COP cleaning, it will be the same. You will also need less time and less people to do the maintenance on the pump.
Wow. So the final question, of course, is, Asjin, like with all new technologies, it's going to be a lot more expensive, isn't it?
Well, that's also what we got back from the industry. Most times the first thing is what to be said, can we get it cheaper? And this is something what we really wanted for this new design. So how can we get a cheaper design? And this is how we did. It's less parts, so we can produce this pump much cheaper than the previous version. And therefore we will also quote this pump cheaper and therefore better for the customer.
Wow. So if a food manufacturer would like to get hold of you, what is the best email address? Sydney?
Well, they could get hold of me. It's sydney.cowley@verder.co.za, and it's SIDNEY.COWLEY. And I'll get back to them as soon as possible.
Thanks, Sydney. Thank you, Asjin, for joining me on scottcundill.com.
Thank you for having me.